Hey, what's going on, guys? So, Rocket League just pushed out its newest Season 23 update, and there is actually a lot going on here if you care about more than just the usual new cosmetics and menu cleanup. The big thing is that this patch adds a Rocket League x FIFA World Cup 2026 event, and it is built around country pride, online match points, and a global leaderboard that tracks how your nation is doing. You pick a country, play online, earn points for that country. And then the rewards scale from participation all the way up to whatever your nation manages to climb on the board. That alone already makes the update feel a little different from the usual seasonal drop because it gives every match a bit more purpose. And the part I keep thinking about is the respawn change, because this one is going to matter in actual games way more than people expect. After a demolition in online matches, you are no longer stuck with the old random field only. Now you can choose from available spawn locations on your side of the field, and the game gives you only a short window to make that choice. If you do nothing, it falls back to a random spawn like before. So in a way, it is simple on the surface, but in ranked or competitive moments, that tiny bit of control can change how quickly you get back into the play, how safely you re-enter a spike, and whether you end up getting punished again right away. That is the kind of update that sounds minor until you actually use it a few times and realize how much rhythm it adds. There's also a privacy and creator-friendly side to this patch that I think a lot of people are going to appreciate. Streamer mode now lets players anonymize names in online matches, including teammates and opponents, and that anonymity shows up in things like scoreboards, social menus, and spectator voice notifications. At the same time, save replays still show real player names, and reporting still works normally. So, this is more about live match privacy than hiding anything from the actual game systems. For people who stream, make videos, or just want a cleaner public-facing setup, that is a pretty useful addition. On top of that, they added a few tools that are clearly aimed at players who like to study the game a little harder. You can now turn on speed stat graphs for both the car and the ball, which gives you a live overlay instead of guessing how fast things are moving. There is also hitbox visualization in offline replay, which is huge for people who want to understand exactly how the car behaves. Then there is the goal scorer's view in replays, which lets you switch the camera to the perspective of the player who scored. That is the sort of thing that sounds almost too niche until you start using it to break down plays, clips, or training habits. It gives you another way to look at what happened instead of just watching the default replay angle over and over. Custom training got some love too, and this is where builders and practice nerds are probably going to have the most fun. The editor now supports configurable starting vehicle velocity, which means you can create more advanced setups instead of always starting from a dead stop. That opens the door to air roll reads, mid-air recoveries, weird angled touches, and all the stuff that normally takes extra setup outside the tool itself. They also added adjustable car pitch rotation and a starting boost slider, so you have a lot more control over how a shot or drill begins. For players who made training packs, this is exactly the kind of feature set that makes the game feel more flexible without getting in the way of people who never touch custom training at all. And then, like every good patch, there's a long cleanup section, which is less exciting to read but absolutely matters when you're actually playing. They fixed drift effects, launching the wrong way, missing crossbar ping audio, mobby music not playing for some users, older hoops replays not loading, and several crash issues across platforms. There are also a bunch of cosmetic fixes, including decal alignment, engine audio carryover, logo orientation, paint finish placement, antenna transparency, wheel transparency, boost stutter, and even an item ownership display issue. The UI side got attention too, with fixes for dim nameplates, club name display problems, matchmaking multi-select weirdness, voice report controls, the news panel not showing up for high XP accounts, showroom flashes, first launch radio issues, overlapping glyphs, and mouse hover highlighting on PC bindings. So while the flashy stuff is the event, respawn choice, and new training tools, the patch is also clearly doing the unglamorous work of tightening up the experience everywhere else. So when you step back, this update is really trying to do a few different things at once. It gives players a bigger live event to grind, adds a more tactical death and respawn flow, hands creators and streamers better tools, and smooths out a pile of annoying issues that have been hanging around. That mix is what makes it feel like more than a simple content drop. It is not just new stuff thrown into the game for the sake of a trailer. It is the kind of patch that changes how matches feel, how players present themselves, and how people practice between games. And for Rocket League, that is usually when an update starts to matter in a real way.